Anthony Abate, the latest thug cop to get away with some Johnny nonsense. More than some Johnny nonsense, some police state intimidation. You're going to serve me that drink. I'm the law. You're going to serve me that drink. Now, I mean, even if this was like a guy bartender, it would be, I think, 10 times less deplorable. But the fact that he doesn't just push this woman, he assaults her unmercifully. He's lucky this woman didn't have a concussion. He could have killed this lady. All right, we're going to play just the 90-second news clip. It's all over the web. Just type in cop beats up bartender. And, you know, the one we covered yesterday is up at the Infowarrior.com as well. This woman who simply asked a cop for their badge number as they're illegally surveying protesters. You don't do that to the Lords. And it's funny because The Guardian reports on it, but then they blur out and protect the cops' faces, also over at the Infowarrior. Let's hit the clip.
What began as a black eye for Chicago police, this videotaped beating of a female bartender by an off-duty officer, is now spiraling into scandal.
I've spent almost 38 years of my life as a police officer, and I am disgusted to witness this type of conduct.
More than 5 weeks after the incident was reported, Chicago's top cop announced new rules designed to get rogue officers off the street faster and heal the department's bruised reputation.
After that incident, I just don't trust police anymore.
It's not just the actions of one cop, Anthony Abate, that has the department in damage control mode. At Abate's court appearance Tuesday, fellow officers blocked and ticketed the media at the courthouse. A local captain who ordered the measures has been demoted.
If you try and shield officers that are accused of misconduct, then you're going to have to suffer the consequences.
You see that, folks? That's how it works. You beat the hell out of a woman, then your compatriots, the people in the fight against the bad guys. She was part of Al-Qaeda. She didn't want to serve him no more rum and coke. She needs to go to Gitmo. What happens? They go ticket the media's cars. They block the press from coming. That's how sick it is. That's how ridiculous it is. Keep playing the clip. Hit the play button, my friend.
During Chicago's Thin Blue Line, another surveillance tape of a separate bar fight has now come to light. That second video hasn't been made public, but it reportedly shows 6 off-duty officers assaulting 4 businessmen last December, and then waving off other cops called to the scene. No charges have been filed, and suspensions were only handed down this week. Anthony Abate has been charged with felony aggravated battery and has been stripped of his police powers. Abate, in the words of the superintendent, has tarnished the department's reputation worse than anyone in the history of the force.
All right. I don't know if it's... I mean, they've done so many disgusting things, especially in Chicago. I mean, this is absolutely deplorable. But did you notice what happened? Oh, yeah. We got 6 off-duty cops beating up 4 businessmen on the streets. The other cops come and they're like, no, it's okay. We're police officers. We're above the law. So what are we going to do in this country? Oh, we're going to give the police more powers. We're going to give intelligence more powers. We're going to make our great nation, our once great nation, more of a police state. That's what's going to solve the problems in this country. That's the type of new world order I want to live in, huh? Sounds like gravy to me. We're going to get big into piggy flu, big into the swine. I'm going to probably wait until the next segment because it's off the charts, folks. I mean, they're now trying to say that the piggy flu, remember, it's not really piggy flu, it's 2 strains of pig flu, 1 strain of bird flu, and 1 strain of human flu. That's 1 strain H1N1 and 2 strains H5N1. I forget what the human strain of flu is. Forgive my ignorance, I'm not perfect. But yeah, New York Times, and it's such a thin theory, they have to admit it off the bat. Contrary to popular assumption that the new swine flu pandemic arose on factory farms in Mexico, didn't find any pigs in Mexico with it. They just started saying that. And I talk about that. I'm the nut. Yeah, they told us the pig flu came in from Mexico. They found no pigs with it. Weird. Federal Agriculture. Remember, the first pigs found with swine flu were in Canada, and then they tried to blame it on a Mexican migrant worker who made his way across the country and then spread the piggy flu in Mexico. Total ridiculousness. Swine flu pandemic arose on factory farms in Mexico. Federal agriculture officials now believe that it most likely emerged in pigs in Asia, but then traveled to North America via a human. Then they said, but there's no way to prove their theory and only sketchy data underpinning it. So no way to prove it, and we're just talking off our cuff here. And then the next paragraph's even more telling. There is no evidence that this new virus, which combines Eurasian and North American genes, has ever circulated in North American pigs. That's right. There's no pigs in this country that have the swine flu. All right, we're going to get into the human swine flu scare in a moment. Let's hit up some calls. Eric in Pennsylvania, you're on the air.
Wow,
yes, sir.
Jason. I have two things to say. First is I was actually going to call about that video about the police officer, and I could just go on and on about that, man. Some of these cops, like, you stand next to them, and you just feel absolute evil. I mean, it's just an indescribable feeling.
No, it's unbelievable. I mean, this guy beat up a woman, and this isn't just like a light beating. This wasn't a love tap. This wasn't even a domestic abuse backhanding. This was a full-out cage fight brawl, slamming the head into the cabinets of the bar, hook and right, hook and left. I think he kicked her a couple times. And what do all the guys do? Do the guys bum rush him? Do they stop him? Do they pin him down? No, they go to their cell phones and they call their lords, the authorities. The authorities will help. I mean, this guy should have got off one right hand, and every single guy in the bar should have been all over him. And quite frankly, if they didn't think they could take him out, that's when you grab the Jim Beam bottle and you whack him across the head with it. There's no reason that woman should have taken that beating.
Absolutely not.
No.
Well, that guy was kind of large. I think you said, what was he, 200?
At least two. Maybe
oh, no, he
even
was
three.
bigger than that.
He was a big daddy.
Big guy, yeah. All right. I could keep going, but anyway, the other thing is that they're talking about in September force vaccinating all the kids, and I have 2 kids, and it's freaking me out, man.
Yeah, you got to keep them out of the school, and I understand that you're probably not with the mom right now, and you only spend limited time with your children. You told me last night you had a 7 and a 3-year-old, and you just got to say, listen, they're not going to school those days. You write whatever notes and tell them whatever you have to. They are not. Listen, there's going to be some big hypes coming up. I mean, I've got this story in front of me. I might as well go to right now, Eric. A girl's quick swine flu death. Now, this is all over Canada already. This is the staff today, okay? This has not hit the United States yet, but get ready for the fear-mongering here. Within minutes, 6-year-old Ruvjet Thindel went from happily chatting in the backseat of the car to collapsing and dying in her father's arms. If we had known it was so serious, we would have called 911. She just had a stomach ache. She wasn't even crying. Ruvjet was pronounced dead at the hospital barely 24 hours after showing signs of a fever. You realize this amount of propaganda right here? They're saying this girl died of the swine flu. She's a young 6-year-old girl, and she literally she just had a stomach ache. This is huge fear-mongering, and now they've declared the national emergencies in Canada as well. They've already announced that everybody was going to take the shot, but now they're declaring the national emergencies. And this is the playbook that's going to happen here in this country as well, mark my words. Manitoba called on the provincial and federal governments to declare a state of emergency on Wednesday because of the spread of swine flu on reserves and the lag time in responding to it. We've had enough. The Assembly of Manitoba Chiefs issued the plea for more help. See, it's all about health. This is going to help everybody if they get more and more shots. So watch out. They're not only talking about it, they're going to implement it. And they may not call it mandatory, but they're going to say that everybody in the school has to do it or your kid can't go there. So get ready for some tough times, Eric. I got to jump. Let's go to Parker in Florida. Parker, you're on the line.
Hey, Bermas, how's it going?
All right, man. What's up?
I just wanted to bring up one thing. I was at University of South Carolina the other weekend for orientation. I'm an inbound freshman. And I went to check out one of the athletic facilities, and lo and behold, right there to get in is the hand scanning device.
Oh, they have the nice little biometric thumbprint device, or it is the full palm?
It's just a hand scan back of the hand, but, I walked up to the guy at the front desk, and I asked him, why the hand scan? And he's like, well, in a chipper, absolutely, this is absolutely great. He's, it's fast and easy. I'm like, yeah, that's when it clicked. Colleges and universities, breeding ground, training ground for, I guess college students.
Yeah, you know, we have to be really careful who we let on the campuses because there's so much crime, and you know, that's why everybody has to sign in at the dorms, and you know, we have all these emergency systems. Meanwhile, it's been shown throughout history when there is something that happens on campus, especially one of these mass shootings, it's one of the students. You know what I mean? So how is that going? How is the hand scanner protecting you from a psychopathic student? How often is it that just somebody off the street goes to a university and starts killing people? It's almost slim to nil to none. I thank you for the call, Parker. Of course it's indoctrination. Of course it's training. It's the new biometric society that they are currently building and getting your children accustomed to. Your college-age children, your teenagers, the ones in high school, your preteens in middle school, and yes, even your little preschoolers are getting accustomed to the slave grid. And the slave grid is real, folks. And the slave grid is going to manipulate you into wanting these shots.